The humid air of Singapore hit me as I stepped out of Changi Airport, equal parts excitement and nerves. The city buzzed with energy, and I could feel the pulse of adventure in the air. My heart raced as I realized I was finally here, thousands of miles from home, about to start a journey I'd dreamed about for years. I was finally in the Lion City, but with only $800 for the month, the challenge was real. Every cent would matter, and I knew I'd have to be careful with every decision. The thought of stretching such a small budget in one of the world's most expensive cities was daunting, but also strangely thrilling. The city's luxury skyline loomed, a reminder of how far my reality was from the glossy images in magazines. Towering skyscrapers, futuristic architecture, and the promise of endless indulgence seemed just out of reach. I wondered if I'd only be able to admire these sights from afar, or if I could find my own way to experience the city's magic. Could I really make this work? Where would I sleep? What would I eat? And how would I stretch every dollar? I pictured myself navigating unfamiliar streets, searching for affordable meals, and hoping to stumble upon hidden gems that wouldn't break the bank. The questions swirled in my mind, but so did a sense of possibility. Doubt crept in, but the traveler in me pushed back. Adventure isn't about luxury. It's about discovery. I reminded myself that the best stories often come from the most unexpected places, and that sometimes limitations can spark the greatest creativity. I was determined to see Singapore through a different lens. My goal: to find the real Singapore, beyond infinity pools and rooftop bars. I wanted to wander through local neighborhoods, taste authentic street food, and connect with the people who call this city home. I was ready to trade tourist traps for genuine experiences, and to let curiosity guide me. My budget would be my guide, forcing me to get creative and dig deeper. I started jotting down ideas, free attractions, cheap eats, and ways to make every dollar count. It was a puzzle, and I was determined to solve it, piece by piece. With my backpack on and wallet light, I took my first steps into the city, determination growing. Each stride felt like a small victory, a promise to myself that I wouldn't let fear or doubt hold me back. I was ready to embrace the unknown. The anxiety faded, replaced by a sense of purpose. I realized that this journey was about more than just seeing sights. It was about learning, adapting, and growing along the way. I was here to prove that a rich experience doesn't require a rich bank account. The flavors, the colors, the sounds of Singapore were all within reach, if I was willing to look beyond the obvious. This was more than a trip. It was a test of resourcefulness and a promise to find magic in the margins. I wanted to capture every moment, every lesson, and every surprise that came my way. With a deep breath, I set out to explore Singapore, one budget-friendly discovery at a time. The adventure had just begun, and I was ready to see where it would lead me. Singapore's postcard image is all futuristic marvels: Marina Bay Sands, the Super Tree Grove, and the dazzling gardens by the bay. These icons showcase the city's ambition and wealth, drawing tourists to infinity pools and luxury malls. Orchard Road buzzes with high fashion and flagship stores, a paradise for big spenders. Everything is polished, efficient, and almost impossibly perfect, a playground for the affluent. But as I stood among the crowds, I knew this was just one side of the story. The real Singapore, I suspected, lived in the quieter corners, away from the tourist throngs. My mission: peel back the glossy layer and find the city that locals call home. That's where I hope to discover Singapore's true character. Finding a place to live on my budget meant skipping hotels, which are notoriously expensive in Singapore, especially in the city center. Instead, I spent hours searching for HDB room rentals. These are government-subsidized apartments where locals and expats alike find affordable housing. I landed a simple, clean room in a local neighborhood, far from glamorous but safe, comfortable, and easy on my wallet. The area was lively, with families, students, and retirees all living side by side. This choice instantly connected me to everyday Singaporean life, letting me see how locals really live, shop, and relax after work. For food, I skipped restaurants and dove into hawker centers, open-air food courts, where you can feast for a few dollars. These places are the heart of Singapore's food culture. Each meal became an adventure, sampling local favorites like chicken rice and laksa, and chatting with stall owners who shared their stories and cooking tips. Getting around was easy with the MRT and a rechargeable Easy Link card. No need for pricey taxis or ride shares. The trains are clean, efficient, and connect you to every corner of the city. Public transport saved me money and let me see the city like a local, from the morning rush to the late-night rides home. Entertainment? I explored the botanic gardens, wandered public parks, and found green spaces perfect for relaxing or people-watching. I also visited museums on free days, discovering Singapore's rich history and vibrant art scene without spending a cent. By seeking out free and low-cost options, I filled my days with culture and nature, from outdoor yoga classes to local festivals. My budget didn't hold me back. It pushed me to experience Singapore more authentically, meeting new friends and discovering hidden gems. The city's best-kept secrets were often the cheapest, proving that you don't need luxury to enjoy the best of Singapore. To understand Singapore, I wandered its diverse neighborhoods. In Little India, the air was thick with spices and music, the streets alive with color and energy. I savored cheap biryani and watched daily life unfold, a world away from the city's luxury image. Kampong Glam's golden-domed mosque and Haji Lane's street art revealed a blend of tradition and creativity. Chinatown's shophouses and bustling hawker centers offered history, culture, and incredible food. Beyond the famous districts, I explored heartland neighborhoods like Toa Payoh, where daily life was quieter and more communal. Watching uncles play chess at HDB void decks and families in local parks, I felt truly connected. These simple scenes showed me the real Singapore, vibrant, multicultural, and deeply human. The city's soul wasn't in its skyscrapers, but in its everyday moments. I found beauty in the ordinary, far from the tourist crowds. That's where Singapore's true magic lives. Living on a tight budget in Singapore taught me some essential tricks. First, refill a reusable water bottle at public fountains. Tap water is safe and it saves money. Research free admission hours for museums and attractions. Timing is everything. A local SIM card is a smart investment. Use it for maps, bus routes, and finding the best hawker stalls. Walking is underrated. Singapore's central districts are perfect for exploring on foot. I stumbled on hidden temples, street art, and quiet parks just by wandering. Skip taxis. Public transport and walking reveal more of the city's character. Plan ahead, but leave room for spontaneous discoveries. The best experiences often cost nothing at all. Real travel is about connection, not consumption. Living on $800 a month wasn't easy. Every day brought a new set of challenges, from budgeting for groceries to resisting the temptation of the city's endless attractions. I quickly learned that every dollar counted, and that meant making tough choices about what I could and couldn't afford. I skipped rooftop bars and shopping sprees, sometimes feeling like an outsider in a city obsessed with luxury. The glitzy storefronts and high-end restaurants were out of reach, and it was easy to feel left behind when friends talked about their latest indulgences. Every purchase required careful thought, and the mental math could be exhausting. Even small treats felt like big decisions, and I often found myself double-checking prices and weighing needs versus wants. But these limits forced me to look for alternatives, and that's where the magic happened. I hiked McRitchie Reservoir, discovering hidden trails and the quiet beauty of nature that I might have otherwise overlooked. I watched sunsets at East Coast Park, letting the sea breeze wash away my worries, and found peace in the simple act of being present. I found joy in simple pleasures, like savoring kopi at a bustling cafe, or tasting new street foods at the night market, experiences that cost little but meant so much. My budget became a catalyst for creativity and deeper exploration. I wandered through side streets, stumbled upon vibrant murals, and discovered hidden corners of the city that tourists rarely see. The real reward was human connection, chatting with hawker stall owners, neighbors, and strangers who became friends over shared meals and stories. I met locals in everyday settings, from the wet market to the MRT, and learned about their lives, dreams, and the city's hidden rhythms. These small interactions revealed the warmth and kindness of Singaporeans. I realized that generosity and community thrive in the most unexpected places. I realized that the city's true wealth isn't in its skyline, but in its people. The real treasures were the friendships and memories I made along the way. The struggles were real, but the rewards were richer than any luxury experience. I ended each day tired but grateful, knowing I was living a story worth telling. My journey was shaped by the things I couldn't buy, and the priceless moments I found instead. The laughter, the quiet reflections, the sense of belonging. Sometimes, the best stories come from the margins, where limitations spark unexpected joys, and the heart of a city is revealed in its everyday moments. As my month ended, I realized my small budget had given me a bigger adventure. Singapore is a city of contrasts, futuristic yet traditional, expensive yet accessible if you know where to look. The true value of travel isn't in what you spend, but in the connections and discoveries you make. A $3 bowl of noodles or a quiet park sunset can be just as memorable as any luxury experience. Adventure is a mindset, not a price tag. Don't let cost or reputation hold you back. There's always another story beneath the surface. Be curious, get lost, and let your journey be guided by wonder, not a checklist. The world is more accessible than you think. My time in Singapore taught me that the best adventures challenge us and open our eyes. The real Singapore and the real adventure are waiting for you, no matter your budget.